Well, it's now day 12 since Egypt was plunged into crisis, with hundreds of thousands of people taking to the streets to demand the ouster of the Hosni Mubarak government. One protester who's become an international star is the anchor woman Shahira Amin, who walked out of the state-run broadcaster after the network refused to cover the protests. NDTV interviewed the outspoken journalist in Cairo.
For the past 12 days, the world has watched hundreds of thousands of Egyptians take to the streets, waving flags, raising slogans, literally reaching for the skies in their quest for change. But sometimes it is the power of one, the courage of one individual that captures the psychological truth of an entire movement.
I don't want to be part of the propaganda machine of this regime. I'm on the side of the people, and that's it.
Meet Shahira Amin, journalist, mother, grandmother, but today Egypt's heroine, for walking out of the state-run broadcaster in protest against media censorship. She is today an international celebrity. But with the restrictions on the media and her fearing for her security, we meet and interview her literally in secret. Shahira, circumstances are such in Egypt that we're having to interview you very quietly at an undisclosed location. But you know something of what this pressure feels like, because you've become an international star ever since you walked out of your job at Nile TV in protest against the media censorship at your station. What made you do it?
What made me do it was that here was history in the making in my country, and as a journalist I wanted to be there covering the events. I'm very proud of the young activists who actually started this momentum. They're courageous, they're resilient, and I should follow their lead. And when I found that I couldn't cover the story, none of our reporters were able to actually go out there and report, and instead we were covering the pro-Mubarak rallies and reading press releases from the Interior Ministry which are questionable. Then I decided, you know, on whose side am I? I'm either state television, as you know, is the mouthpiece of this regime, and what the regime has been doing, the atrocities that have been carried out over the last 2 days, you know, they just made me think, whose side am I on? And I'm on the people's side. I totally agree with their very legitimate demands for change, for social justice. This is an anti-corruption movement. It's a call for freedom. It's an awakening of the Egyptian people, and I'm an Egyptian.
And with so much attention on you, you're not worried, you're not scared. You're a mother of 2 children, you're a professional, and the world knows you now. I'm sure the official authorities here know you. Aren't you scared?
Well, the world knows me. That wasn't the original intention when I decided to quit, but I can expect a backlash from the state for what I've done, the fact that I've gone public with this. But I'm just hoping for the best. I'm doing what I believe in, and I'm sure that, well, God will be on my side.
Where do you see the situation headed now? There are those who are saying, look, the Mubarak regime has put September as a deadline, let him just exit by then. There are others who are saying it will be a more conservative, there are dangers of the Muslim Brotherhood taking charge. As a professional, liberal, outspoken woman, where do you want your country to go next?
I was hoping that President Mubarak would step down immediately. He says he fears that stepping down now might plunge the country into chaos. But as you can see, we're already in a very chaotic situation. It can't get more chaotic than this. Banks, stores have been closed since the start of this revolution, and we're running out of food and fuel. I'm hoping he steps down. As for the raising the spectre of the Muslim Brotherhood, that has been the tactic of the regime since the very beginning. President Mubarak has tried to convince the Western world in particular that it's either him or the Muslim Brotherhood. And as a secularist, Of course, I'm concerned too about what will come next, but I'm hoping that free and fair elections will be held and that the people will finally be able to have their word and make a choice. I'm sure that the next election, Egyptians won't be as, there won't be as much apathy as there has been in the past.
And one big victory for you is that your station has finally begun to cover the anti-Mubarak protests after you left it.
For the last 2 days, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. So if I manage to evoke that change, well, great.
And how does this international stardom feel? The Egyptian heroine, as it were, is how the Western press is calling you.
Well, I was hoping I would be a hero for other things, but I have no alternative plan at the moment, but hopefully I will be able to start work again because I love my job.
Aren't your 2 kids scared for you?
They are a bit concerned, but they're also activists, so we're all in it together, and this is something that all Egyptians are in the same boat now. It's a fight for freedom and against corruption, and hopefully there will be victory at the end of the tunnel.
And Shahira means famous in Arabic?
That's right.
It is this Egyptian determination that the future politicians of this country will have to find a way of addressing. In Cairo, with Manvendra Gautam and Ruby Dhingra, Barkha Dutt for NDTV.